I'm sitting here wiping off my glasses, and I recently did go through the comments of my last video, the Yamaha video, where I was talking about I think I like Yamaha, and someone made the comment that it looked like my glasses had gone through a wood chipper. My reply to that is, mind your business. What is up, YouTube fam? Today, we have some chores. The chores happen to be tuning drums, setting up drums, because as you can see, there are no drums set up. And the reason why there are no drums set up is because I am playing a bunch of gigs all summer with my cover band. And so that's why those drums in that corner over there, they're all in bags. Because I knew I was gonna have to do this, I actually bought another kit. Now hear me out. The reason why I bought this kit was only because Sam Ash is going out of business. Now the one near me was already going out of business before they announced that they were nationally going out of business, so I picked up that. And it is a deep blue burst. I saw this and I said, I had to have this kit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna not only set up drums, but we're gonna talk a little bit about these heads right here. I'm actually using some Evans G2 coateds on this kit. And I'll tell you why after I introduce myself, because that's pretty rude. My name is Daryian, if you're new here. And if you're not new here, then you already know what's about to happen. So yeah, let's get started. Look at this. These drums are so freaking pretty. And if you didn't know, my favorite color is blue. Second to that, it's black. And so as you can see, it's blue fading to black. Now, when you look at this through the camera, this does not do this finish justice. It actually changes the color of the blue a little bit, even if I don't mess with the colors. And I'm noticing now that as I spin this, the blue kind of fades into whatever you're looking at, and it kind of fades out, almost like, watching the globe turn. It's really cool. It's really dope. Let me finish admiring this finish really quick. Woo! Oh, these drums are so pretty.
1 hour later.
This is the first drum set that I ever bought brand new from a store, which is actually like really cool for me. I've never had that experience before because I've always one of the first kits that I bought was a custom kit, so that was made to order for me. You didn't get it in a brand new box or anything like that. You get it from the maker, and that's cool. But there's something about like walking out of a store that's just like, like you telling everybody else that you just bought something, and there's like that little strut. That's what it was like when I got these. These are also Yamaha Stage Custom birch shells, but the difference between these kits and the other kit that I have is that these kits, after a certain year, they started cutting the toms a little shorter. So this is actually a 10x7, I believe, and then I have a 12x8, and then I have a 16-inch floor tom. I think that's 16x15, I believe. I'll put it on the screen if I'm wrong. But then I also have a 22x18 or 16. I'll also put that on the screen as well. Now, I don't normally like 22s. I actually thought when I picked it up that it was a 20, just because I was like really excited, and I was buying heads and things like that. So, and I was making plans and things like that. So long story short, it's not a 20, it's a 22. So the new bass drum head that I just bought, which was actually going to be for that kit, well, it's now going on the other Yamahas, but it needed it anyway because that's going to be my gigging kit. For the blue drums, the blue Stage Customs, I'm gonna put the Evans G2s on there, mostly because, first of all, I'm an Evans guy through and through. Fight me. I really like Evans drum heads. Why? Because I know that I could just throw them on a drum. I could quickly get them to where I need to go, and boom. Now, the reason why I'm using G2s is because, well, first of all, 2-ply head, and these drums are not the top of the line Yamaha. So oftentimes what people will do is they'll put 2-ply heads on drums that kind of help with controlling overtones and things like that. And being that I like to tune wide open, that makes a lot of sense to do. Just for certain things, like especially if I'm playing by myself, like I'll tune wide open. I want to hear what these drums sound like. And plus, I'm sure you want to hear what these drums sound like. So doing you a favor, gonna put these nice warm coated heads on there so we can both hear what these drums sound like. In addition, I have an HD dry that's going on the snare. It's a 14-inch snare, 14x5, I believe. And it's a stock snare. But, you know, we can crank those up and get them to sound really, really nice. But before I put these heads on there and before I crank them up and all that sort of stuff, I want to play the stock heads that they have because they're single ply. And one of the other good ways to like really learn your drums is to listen to what they sound like when they have single plies on them. Just because, first of all, it's a thinner head and it's gonna give you more of a true characteristic. The only other way that I could describe this for you to make it make sense is like the difference between hearing a singer through a dry mix versus a processed mix. In a processed mix, you'll have reverb, you have compression and all that stuff that makes it sound pretty. So when you speak into the mic, it'll just go, it'll sound pretty. Versus when you get to the in-ears and it's dry, if you can't sing, it's gonna show, and it is what it is. It tells you exactly what it is. So let's consider that these are kind of like a pre-processed sound. A 2-ply head is more like a pre-processed sound. And then let's say a single ply head is more like the dry sound in those two scenarios, the more true to what the drum actually sounds like. So first, I want to mess around with the tunings on these drums, and then I'm going to replace the heads. together. Big sounding. All right, so now that we know what these drums sound like with single ply heads, now we're gonna put double ply heads on it, or yeah, the 2-ply heads, the G2s on here to see what they sound like. My prediction is that these heads are going to really warm up the drums, but also 2-ply heads means something a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier, meaning that I also think that it's gonna choke off the drum just a little bit, but we'll still get some decent resonance. It'll just control the sound and get to a pitch that we want it to be at a little bit better. So let's hear what these sound like with the new coated heads on there. Now, the reason why I made this video was because I really like these drums, but also I thought that I would be able to get some add-ons by the time I started making this video, and unfortunately I couldn't, but you know, money. As you can see, we have a box. So, like what I mentioned earlier about the add-ons, well, I happen to be able to get one of those add-ons right before I finished this video. Actually, right before I started editing this video and started doing post work. So this is huge. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I need to open this box because unfortunately I don't have my unboxing knife because I'm, not at home, but yeah, hold on. The unboxing key. All right, before I do this, I just want you guys to know that I've always wanted to do this. Like, ever since, I watched Vinny Colaiuta unbox his drums when he went back to Gretsch. And that was just like a magical thing to watch. And I've watched other unboxings too, but it's like, just this feeling right here. Look. I've always wanted to do this part too. Yo. Fresh out the box. Fresh out the bizox. Definitely need some love. We gonna love it. Because you thought I didn't plan ahead? That means you don't really know me. Like my friends know. They know I planned ahead. We got an 8-inch tom head already. This John is a G2, coated G2, just like the rest of these. I'm not even gonna bother tuning up this head because I'm so excited. I just want to hear what it sounds like in context with the rest of these drums. Because the other thing you do have to keep in mind is that when you buy add-ons, they are from a different, sometimes they can be from a different batch of wood. So yes, this is a Yamaha birch kit. And yeah, like birch is birch, but sometimes the tones don't all the way match. So they make a certain number of these, but you know, this might not be from the same batch of wood that the rest of this kit was made with, if you get what I'm saying. So that thing aside, because I really don't care, I'm just really excited to play this. I'm gonna put this head on here, and we're gonna see what this sounds like. Maybe I'll just, I'm gonna just do it now and like fast forward through this, because like, why not? Why not? Give you a little glimpse. And yes, I promise I will do a tuning video. This is just not that video. Let's hear what it sounds like in context with the rest of the drums, as best as we can, clearly, because, whatever. So I think it's clear to say, or very, safe to say, that I love these drums. I wasn't sure, because when you get these drums are a slightly thinner shell configuration. I'm not sure how many plies it is. Like I said, I bought these because I was excited about the sizes and like it was my favorite color. I didn't really do a whole lot of research outside of, oh, this happens to be a new color? Great. To be really honest with you. But that said, these drums, like for your money, because these drums are not very expensive, for your money, you can get a pretty decent bang for your buck. And the tuning ranges on these are great. And as you could tell, I have another Yamaha Stage Custom kit. It's just a little bit older. But the quality is still the same in terms of what you get in sounds. The builds are slightly different. Like I noticed that the hoops and things are just a little bit different in certain hardware things. But outside of that, and it could just be because I have new hardware and I bought that kit used, so I could just be not used to having new hardware. Who knows? But from my humble, very honest opinion, from a person who would never have chosen Yamaha as like a first choice for drums, personally, because as you know, I have a Tama kit as well. But now I have 2 Yamaha Stage Custom birch kits. And it's because I really like that other birch kit, and I liked it more than I thought I would, especially because I had to get that 16-inch floor tom, which, if you want to hear all about that saga, that'll be up here as well. But with Yamaha and Evans, this was something that I kind of wanted to try just because I'm a big Larnell Lewis fan as well, if you can't figure that out. I just like the tones that he's able to produce out of like drums, like the way that he tunes, like you could tell, like that's Larnell. And I never thought that these drums, especially with like Evans heads, I never thought that these would sing as much as they do. I expected them to be a little bit more subdued, but like when you listen to his records, they just sing. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that he's not using 2-ply heads, but he's using single-ply heads. He uses the UV1s, and I know he uses the UV2s now. But when you use single-ply heads, you get more attack, and you can also get more tone out of that. And also, based off of how you play, you don't have to play as heavy through the heads. Like, I'm not using my regular 5AXs that I would use on like a show. These are 9As. And that's just because they're a lot smaller. I'm not hitting the drums super hard. I want to get around the kit, but also like I just really want to hear what these sound like. So I think, you know, fresh out the box, I still haven't changed the kick head, so like I'm happy with what it sounds like. And plus, obviously, they come with the stock Remo head, so if you want to play around with the single ply heads like I did, you can. You will still be able to get decent tone and sound and stuff like that. But when you're ready to get yourself some big boy heads, consider those things. Single ply heads are going to give you more attack, also more overtones. Double ply heads are going to give you a more controlled sound. They're going to control those overtones a little bit more. And then based off of that, make a decision. For instance, I like playing the black chromes. That's a double ply head that has a clear reflective coating, but it gives you a lot darker, thuddier tones, especially for things like, hip hop, like the Knock Like Us video I just did. Whereas using coated heads, you'll be able to get a little bit more warmth. It'll roll off some of that attack because there's coating on here, but they also have the G2s, so there's that. It's just a more generic version of the head, so on and so forth. So, all in all, I think I'm really falling in love with Yamaha, and I can't wait to find out more stuff because I also have some Yamaha pads around, like electronics pads, so it'd be nice to figure that out. And also, I recorded all of this stuff, ironically enough, through a Yamaha mixer into this camera. So I'm just Yamaha'd out right now. Why? I couldn't tell you. I think I'm just going through a journey with drums right now, and I'm really digging what Yamaha has to offer, especially because like I never really considered it before, and like now I'm actually giving it an honest chance, and like I like it. And it's not just because I went out and spent money on these drums. Like I actually spent money on these drums because I like the other ones. Those were just supposed to be a beater kit, but this is going to be you know, something that stays here, or I'll take it out for special occasions. So yeah, if you guys are looking for a new kit, this is a viable option. It's only about I think I paid about $500-600 for this. This is about a $600 or $700 kit. It's fairly cheap, and it has add-ons. So as you grow as a player, you can grow the kit as well and start adding different toms and things like that. And it comes in many different finishes as well. So, you know, pick your poison. I clearly love this one, and I plan to get an 18-inch floor tom for this, and possibly a 20-inch kick or 18-inch kick, because they also make an 18-inch kick as well. I forgot to mention that. But I think if I get the 18-inch floor tom and a 20-inch kick, I'll be good. I'll be done. And this kit will be complete. Unless I decide to get Fusion-y and add the 13-inch floor tom. And I know my wife she might watch this at some point, and she might not agree with the plans that I'm making. All right, so that's all I really wanted to talk about in this video, was pretty much these drums. If you made it this far, thank you very much. And that means you very much care about drums. So if you care this much about drums, to hear me prattle on and play brand new drums or what have you, and just figure out things together, then please consider subscribing to the channel. And also, you know, hit that notification bell, because I post more than just videos like this. I also post covers and things like that, and vlogs sometimes. And yeah, I think I'm gonna play some more of these here drums, and I am going to say thank you one more time, and peace out. Later, y'all.